Welcome to Revolution EHR. My name is Purvi and today I will be going over the services area in the inventory module. To get to the services, you'll want to go into this 3-block icon, click on services, and you'll notice that there are a couple of search categories that we can choose. You can search by location, CPT services, all or other services. And you also have the ability to do an advanced search. You can also search by status, all, active, or inactive. And we can also change how many services we want to display at once. So we can either do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, or 100. Over on the right, you'll notice that I can very quickly deactivate a service just by hovering over the red X for each listing in my catalog. I can also assign it to a different category if I need to. I can also, if I go into my inactive services, I can also very simply activate a service again if I need to as well. This gear icon will allow you to export your entire spreadsheet. So I want to start with adding a CPT service. So the first thing you'll need to do, you can either search for a service in the database by searching for the description or by the specific code. So if I type in fitting, you could see that it pulls up all of my different fittings. I'm going to go ahead and choose the 92310. You can change your invoice description. When you import a service from the database, you cannot edit the short description or the long description. However, you do have the ability to add a modifier, change the invoice description, the fee, the tax, and whether you want to include in the common service. And if so, you have the ability to customize the common service description that displays in the coding screen of the encounter. I'm going to go ahead and enter my fee. I've entered my invoice description. I'm going to include it in my common services list, and we're going to just add the description so that we can distinguish between the other 92310 codes. Once you're finished making all of your changes, you can go ahead and hit add, and you'll notice that there's a modal that pops up very quickly in the top right saying that the service was added. If you'd like to add a service that's not in the database, you can click Add Other Service. You could enter the CPT in the name section of the service listing. You can add your own short description, your own long description, and the invoice description, and everything pretty much stays the same as adding the CPT service, where you are able to add a fee and include it in your common services list. Really, the only difference between the two is in the other service, you have the ability to edit your short description and your long description. And then you'll see that typically when you click yes in the comment to include it in the common services list, it automatically will pull in your short description. However, this is editable if you'd like to. I'm going to add the service. Again, the modal will pop up on the right saying that the service was created. And then we can go ahead and just close those out. We now also have the ability to manage our common services. The common services are specific to each location. So if you have multiple locations, each of these lists would need to be edited for each location. So over on the right, we can change the order. So the double arrow icon pointing up will move a service all the way to the top. The double arrow button downwards will move a service all the way to the bottom. and the single arrows will move it one up. So for example, if I wanted to move the contact lens fitting multifocal service all the way to the top, I could either hit this arrow or this one, and it'll just move it up one. So you'll see that service. I can also move this one all the way to the bottom. So you'll see that now my refraction displays at the bottom. We don't have the ability to click and drag, however, these arrows are very useful. It's also really nice, so if you wanted to move something towards the top of the list and it's at the bottom, so for example, the gonioscopy, I can move it to the top and then move it down a couple instead of having to click the up 10 times. I only had to hit it twice. The last thing I want to show you is copying services from one location to another. So to do this, it is a huge time saver if you have multiple locations and you've set up all of your services for one location. You don't want to go through the process all over again. You have the ability to copy all of those services from one location to the other. So to do that, the from location you'll choose is the location with the services entered already. So we'll go ahead and choose Heather's Eye Care since I know that one's all set up. And we're going to copy it to Danielson Vision. And you can also select which category. So for example, if you wanted to transfer over the CPTs, however, you're not quite sure you want to move over the other services quite yet, you can choose that or distinguish between the two. And then we're going to go ahead and hit copy. And you'll see that it shows you a modal saying that the copy was successful. That concludes the video going over the services in our inventory module. Thank you for choosing Revolution EHR.